In this season of The Big Talk, you are going to have access to the most incredible speakers who recently performed at the virtual showcase, which is the culmination of the Big Talk Academy, my 12-week signature speaker training. Be sure to watch every single one of these speakers in this series because they are all equally as inspiring, entertaining, and powerful. And by sharing their important messages, they can change and even save a life. Enjoy. Dr. Julie Krull serves as a midwife for the evolution of consciousness, whole systems transformation, and a whole world view. Working with evolutionary change agents, she's a best-selling Nautilus Award-winning author, international speaker, creative catalyst, popular host of the Dr. Julie Show, All Things Connected, and founder of Good of the Whole. Everybody, let's welcome to the stage Dr. Julie Krull with Reimagine Everything.
I walked outside and sat on the grass. It was a beautiful sunny day and the birds were singing. The cool, velvety, soft grass felt like the universe rolled out a red carpet, inviting me into a safe refuge from all the trauma and chaos going on around me. At home, there was abuse, neglect, domestic violence, chemical dependency. In the news, images of war haunted me. Pictures of starving children broke my heart. I didn't understand humanity. As I sat there on the grass, I asked why. Why do humans treat each other the way they do? How can people hurt each other like this? I wanted the world to see itself the way I saw it. Unified, connected, and whole. It was then that I left my body. I was 11 years old. What followed was one of the most profound and formative experiences of my life, a transcendent event. But what's more important is that it set me on a lifelong path of study, a deep exploration into the spiritual mysteries of life, and a broad scientific examination into the nature of reality. I studied human behavior, why we believe what we believe, how these beliefs create our worldview, and how our worldview shapes our reality. But what happens when it's not based in truth? Look around. The world feels much like it did that day sitting on the grass. We have built our world around the false belief that we are separate from one another, Earth and all its inhabitants, separate from the creative life force and the very foundations of life. Seeing through a lens of separation, we have so much excessive competition, overconsumption, fear, greed, scarcity, tragic inequalities and exploitation, and yes, conflict. The illusion of being separate has led to whole systems breakdown with widespread destruction and escalating global crises. Yet separation is merely an illusion, a flawed and outdated scientific theory, and a developmental stage of consciousness that we're outgrowing. Einstein called it an optical delusion of consciousness. In the pursuit to understand the universe, Newtonian physics seeded this with a material reductionist, mechanistic worldview. Every discipline of science followed suit by separating things into fragmented pieces and parts, disregarding the unseen mysteries of life and focusing only on what can be seen. This was not my reality. I saw the unseen. My world had been shaped by multiple experiences of non-ordinary consciousness, beginning with an early childhood near-death experience when I was 4 years old. What I've learned is, whether you've had a direct experience or understand the science, a narrative based on unity, a connected whole worldview literally changes everything. The direct experience of unity is considered a mystical or spiritual experience or an altered state of consciousness. It's often dismissed as woo-woo by the rational mind. Yet in 2009, according to Pew Research, 49% of Americans have had a mystical experience. Experts estimate it's much higher now. Abraham Maslow believed everyone has mystical experiences. We just safely label them as a peak experience or dismiss them altogether. And science is catching up. Cosmologist Dr. Julie Krull reports that recent scientific discoveries across multiple disciplines and all scales support a revolutionary leap in our understanding of ourselves and the unified nature of reality. Thousands of leading-edge researchers are furthering this unitive narrative with rigorous empirical studies. You see, unity is real. It's not just an ideal. Evolution biologist Dr. Elizabeth Sahtouris says, as a species, we're evolving from late adolescence to early adult, transitioning from feisty competitive hostilities to mature, friendly cooperation. This shift in consciousness compels us to create cooperative communities that care for all life. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Let's pause and contemplate that for a moment. Cooperative communities that care for all life. Breathe that in. Invite your own childlike wonder to marvel in the mysteries of life, knowing that all things are connected. Beauty, mystery, and unity in diversity are everywhere. We can look to nature where we feel most alive and at home. Seeing through a new, corrected lens brings into focus our fundamental interbeing within the whole community of life. An ephemeral glimpse of eternity or a fleeting moment of epiphany opens us to a more expansive, universal perspective and deep connection. Seeing the ineffable in our vast, interconnected web of life changes us. Unity weaves the seen and unseen, the rational with the indescribable. We lose all sense of separation and become one in a profound experience of peace and belonging. Einstein said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." Our global crises will not be resolved within the same consciousness or failing systems. All the solutions we need already exist for rapid social and ecological regenerations. We simply need to shift our perspective and build a world that works for everyone. I invite you to reimagine everything. We must transform the whole system: governance, economics, law, justice, media, education, healthcare, agriculture, everything. Let's rethink how and why we do what we do. You can begin right here, right now, in your own home, community, and workplace. You don't need to have a near-death experience to make radical change. In fact, perhaps we'll all look back at this time and consider it humanity's collective near-death experience, a wake-up call. More than 4 decades have passed since I went outside and sat on the grass, and we're growing up. It may seem impossible, but we have everything we need to remake our world, to live in harmony with each other and the planet, and to heal our wounds of separation. We may not be able to see the outcome from here, but we must commit and try. Look beyond division. Both scientific knowledge and spiritual wisdom point us toward a co-creative partnership with life. From divided to united, we are hardwired for connection. As we reimagine everything, we can design a world where we embody this inherent unity and awaken our inner capacity to live for the good of the whole.
All right, Julie, thank you so much. Well done, well done. You have such a nice quality of speaking. I love your background. I love your wardrobe choice. You pop on the lens. You've got beautiful sound and lighting. I like that you're talking about the worldview being questioned. And I'm wondering if you were reading your script.
I was watching time cues up there, and I just have I have a picture of how I go around my thing, but wasn't reading it. I was just nervous about the time.
Got it. Okay. Great to know that, because I could feel you creating a container for yourself that prevented you from having the freedom of delivering this talk. I could feel that. And I wasn't sure if you were reading or if you were looking at notes, but I knew you were doing something that created a container around you. And that container kept you contained. And what I want to inspire, invite, encourage you to do the next time is trust that your internal clock will be on time. And to give yourself the playground and the freedom to share this content freely, powerfully, passionately. And again, it's great that I saw you do that, and I know why you were doing it so that you can change that in the future. I wanted to know what your mystical experience was. I literally wanted you to describe it, to share it, to open yourself up to us. When you do this again, I encourage you to do that, to share that. I also want you to consider, Julie, not quoting so many other experts. You're an expert. You don't need them to lift you up. You got it. So I think about how many people you're going to refer to, and think about referring more to your expertise. I liked the slides with the music at the end. I thought that was really beautiful. I also want you to think about why you're doing choreography. It was so highly choreographed that it can move very quickly into being contrived, right? This. If it doesn't really add to the talk, you don't need it. You are enough. You communicating directly to lens and sharing this powerful talk is enough. I also think that I love Reimagine Everything. I'm wondering, and again, this is the first time I've heard the talk, so we haven't worked on it together. I'm wondering, when you go back and revisit this, if you can think about defining what everything means at the beginning and then circling back so that you invite us to reimagine it all. And then you had 3 endings. The world's near-death experience, which I thought was the most powerful. Then you moved into a wake-up call, which was the second ending. And then the third ending was when you started the next ending. It's been several years since I sat on the grass. I feel like the end of the talk, and again, I'd have to hear it again, was the world's near-death experience. Maybe a call to action at the end there, but that was very powerful. And then you went on twice more. So be very careful about not ending the talk more than once. Well done. A lot of learning here. I'm really proud of you. Amazing, amazing work.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. If you desire to be on the virtual showcase stage, hop on over to thebigtalkacademy.com and register now for my 12-week signature speaker training, where you can become certified by the Big Talk Academy and perform on my virtual showcase stage. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button and notification bell, and definitely share your thoughts in the comments. I will respond to each and every one of you. Big love, everybody.